I want to bring in now Wealth Enhancement Group, their senior portfolio manager, Ayako Yoshioka. Okay, welcome to the show. I want to talk to you about this because, I guess the question is this sort of resolve for the market, this sort of, it's holding up. What do you attribute that to?
Sure. So I think, the market has gotten conditioned, or at least investors have, to some of the short-term geopolitical risks that have been in markets in the past, and they've been short-lived. And so they've been buying the dip, and we've seen that activity over the last week and a half.
Well, I mean, we're on the pace right now. I haven't seen the latest numbers, but this is one of the top quarters in history. It might be the #1 quarter in history of retail buying. So they've learned a lesson, a positive lesson, that if you buy these dips, things happen. What about the clients, though, that might be in panic mode?
So for clients in panic mode, we sort of remind them of their overall risk tolerance and overall asset allocation that really reflects that risk tolerance for them.
So let's talk about some of the areas that you like and what you think are positive here. I know that the building boom is something that you base your investment thesis on here recently, particularly coming into this year. And you're saying, listen, it's not just the CapEx. These things have tentacles, right? The lending, the CapEx that go in and impact a wide part of this economy.
Absolutely. Charles, when there's so much noise out there, whether it's geopolitical or the AI disruption, narrative, or even private credit, we like to sort of go back and sort of, see where we see opportunity. And in the long term, we're seeing that CapEx spend. And it's not just in tech. We're seeing it across, other areas. And that's really going to be helpful to the overall economy. And we're seeing that over the long term. It's that onshoring trend that we continue to see.
The lending part of this, I want to ask you about financials. It should help them. This is supposed to be a perfect environment backdrop for financials. It's the worst performing niche sector in the market right now. What do you think what do you attribute that to?
So in the financials, we got to dissect it a little bit between some of those capital market performers, so the Apollos, the BlackRocks, the KKRs of the world, relative to some of the banks. And for the banks, I think the lending is going to be very positive from the overall CapEx spend standpoint. But we know all the issues that have been plaguing a lot of these alternative asset managers. And we think some of that there's a little bit of a disconnect there as well in terms of whether this is a default issue or whether this is just a liquidity issue for some of the private credit companies.
Within the market itself, I read where you saying, okay, it's been a year of rotation, right? Different narratives have sort of dominated here. But you think maybe in this year of rotation, now software is oversold. And I know one name that you like there is Intuit.
Absolutely. So, as is the case when people have a little bit of fear in markets, you throw everything out. Baby goes out with it.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, again, but it was sort of sideways for a while too. Maybe it was a sitting duck, the fact that it had not gone up in the second half rally as with most of the rest of the market.
Yeah, and with Intuit, we want to remind investors that they have really solid software. It's TurboTax, it's QuickBooks. And small businesses aren't going to rip this out in order to vibe code some sort of tax software.
Okay, that's what I keep hearing. We've made a good bounce here, and we're turning around a little bit here today. So right now, everyone's looking these days for the moat, a moat. That's the hot buzzword. It's got a moat, right? Feels like, the old Crusader days are Constantinople. It's impenetrable. You say waste management's got two moats, a moat against AI and a moat against all the other geopolitical stuff going on out there.
Absolutely. When it comes to waste management, it's a critical sort of service that we all utilize. And it is mostly here in the United States. And they do a diverse set of services, not just disposable waste, but recyclables and healthcare.
I can't let you go without asking about Apple. It's a name that I know you've liked a lot. We've talked about it a lot. It's sort of, they've got more money than any company in history, right? But the stock just doesn't impress anymore.
Well, Charles, I had to give you a name within the Mag 7 to sort of, go after. And this is a name that, among all of them, isn't having that CapEx issue. And over the long term, I think they're really going to benefit from AI.
Yeah, well, they've made a big bet by not making a big bet.
Absolutely.
Ayako, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Charles.
it.